Belgium says a Canadian intern is suspected of spying at NATO. Here's what we know. The suspect was working as an intern in NATO's Supreme Headquarters Allied Powers, SHAPE, Europe in Mons, Belgium.
UEFA to boycott World Cups if FIFA plans approved. UEFA's 55 member associations vote to boycott the World Cup if FIFA proceeds with its plan to sell stakes in its competitions.
Trump floats pulling Blanche's AG nomination until after GOP holdouts leave office. The Senate Judiciary Committee, which includes Sents, John Cornyn and Tom Tillis, postponed a vote on advancing Todd Blanche's AG nomination.
England's Campbell retains Commonwealth weightlifting title. England's Emily Campbell produces a record-breaking performance in Glasgow to defend her Commonwealth Games title in the women's plus 86 kg weightlifting.
AI investor Leopold Aschenbrenner forced to unwind all public stock positions after steep losses, sources say. Leopold Aschenbrenner's hedge fund has sold all of its public stock holdings, according to people familiar with the matter.
Trump says he may pull Blanche AG nomination temporarily. The news comes as two key Republicans are withholding their support over concerns about the Justice Department's deal with President Trump.
Mistaken username sent man to prison for 18 months, court finds. An appeals court in Canada acquitted Brandon Claim of charges related to child sexual abuse imagery. His Kik username had one less underscore than another account that was involved.
England captaincy could be what Root needs, Vaughan. Former skipper Michael Vaughan says the England Test captaincy could be exactly what Joe Root needs after the 35-year-old is appointed to the role for a second time.
Elliott ready to take second chance at Liverpool. Harvey Elliott discusses his tough loan spell at Aston Villa and why he's determined to enjoy his football again at Liverpool.
Okta buys AI security startup Permiso. Source says for about $200 million. The deal gives Okta identity threat detection capabilities as enterprises seek to secure AI agents and other non-human identities across cloud environments.
Iran War Live updates. Drone attack in Egypt threatens to expand fighting. The United States and Iran exchanged strikes overnight, after Saudi Arabia acknowledged direct involvement in the war for the first time.
Amazon on deck to report earnings after the bell with cloud, CapEx in focus. Amazon projected its 2026 CapEx will reach $200 billion, and some analysts believe the total could rise in the face of surging artificial intelligence demand.
Tonali took 10 minutes to decide to join Spurs. Club record £100 million signing Sandro Tonali took 10 minutes to decide to join Tottenham after meeting manager Roberto De Zerbi.
Tesla made its 10 millionth EV. The milestone means Tesla is halfway to accomplishing one of the 4 core product goals Elon Musk has to hit to unlock his full $1 trillion pay package.
The new Friend AI pendant can now talk back to you. Avi Schiffman has a new version of his controversial AI companion. It's more expensive, and you can't change its personality.
Best Buy is selling an RTX 5080 for more than the RTX 5090's MSRP. Best Buy has raised the price of the Asus ROG Astral RTX 5080C to $2,099, the first time a major US retailer is directly selling an RTX 5080 for more than the $1,999 MSRP of the RTX 5090, Videocards reports. The ROG Astral RTX 5080C now costs 40% more than its.
Man impaled by a hiking pole treks 10 miles down mountain. Instead of calling for a helicopter rescue, David Cifaldi hiked down Montana's Granite Peak with a hiking pole piercing his side.
When will fusion power startup Commonwealth Fusion Systems go public? There are fresh signs that fusion power startup Commonwealth Fusion Systems will list in the next 2 to 3 years.
Meta says AI is making it easier to build new apps and more are coming. Meta says AI is making it dramatically easier to build and launch new consumer apps, with CEO Mark Zuckerberg telling investors the company has more new consumer products on the way following a recent wave of releases for Facebook groups, marketplace sellers, Instagram, and gaming.
Netflix lands global streaming deal for The Walking Dead. Netflix just signed a massive new licensing agreement worth $500 million to bring The Walking Dead universe to international markets.
InScale buys AnyScale as it seeks to own more of the iCompute stack. British AI neocloud InScale is buying software startup Anyscale, which helps companies scale their AI workloads across data centers and servers.
Fusion power darling Commonwealth Fusion Systems raises another $1 billion. Commonwealth Fusion Systems raised $1 billion as the startup moves toward its first commercial fusion power plant.
Apple and Amazon report after the bell. Here's what the options market is saying. Earnings on deck this afternoon for Apple and Amazon will likely decide if the stock market can end what's so far been a rough week on solid footing.
Challenging times ahead for Newcastle, Shearer. MODD pundit and Newcastle United legend Alan Shearer explains why he is worried about what will happen next at his old club after the departure of manager Eddie Howe.
Xiaomi's Skynomad N90 Max is an extended-range EV with a transforming interior. The Skynomad N90 Max is the latest electric SUV from Xiaomi and its first extended-range EV, with a claimed range of over 1,705 kilometers, about 1,059 miles. It will come in both 5 and 7-seat configurations, as well as an N90 Max Camping Edition. One of the big features of the N90 is its highly
U.S. economy slowed to 1.5% growth rate in Q2, June core inflation at 3.3%. While the GDP number was below expectations, the miss appeared to come from a decline in federal government spending and inventories.
Gemini Robotics 2 brings Google's AI into the physical world. The latest version of Google DeepMind's AI model includes a significant jump into physical AGI. But plopping AI into the real world comes with risks.
NATO says Russian missile hit Poland during Ukraine attack. Russian missiles have briefly entered Polish airspace in the past. Investigators have yet to definitively identify the object that struck overnight.
Brazil's president confirms 2 U.S. government officials were denied visas over election interference fears. Brazil has argued the visit could have been used to raise suspicions about the electoral system's reliability ahead of October's vote, which the U.S. State Department rejects.
Jeep maker Stellantis swings to profit on rising demand in North America. Auto giant Stellantis on Thursday swung to profit in the second quarter, boosted by rising demand in North America.
Forward-deployed engineers are the AI industry's latest talent obsession. A new study estimates only 2,000 U.S. engineers have the expertise to deliver meaningful AI ROI, as enterprises race to hire forward-deployed engineers to implement AI at scale.
Razer's new keyboards drop the price on powerful gaming features. Razer has insisted that optical keyboard switches are the best choice for competitive esports stars and the sweatiest of tryhards, but it's now relenting slightly by offering cheaper keyboards with magnetic switches and a similar array of gaming features. The $120 Razer Huntsman V3 He Magnetic Mini and $140 Huntsman V3 He Magnetic Tenkeyless, both.
Razer Huntsman V3 He review. Jumping on the bandwagon. Razer has finally caved and made its first Hall-effect gaming keyboard. I dug into its switches, features, and gaming performance to see if it was worth the wait.
The oil majors are about to report booming profits. These smaller stocks may be better buys. Several renewable and AI-linked stocks that may be better buys than the majors right now, according to Wall Street.
New MCP specification addresses the main barrier to enterprise adoption. Plus, a new deprecation policy ensures features aren't removed suddenly.
Wildfires in Greece kill 3 firefighters as blazes still burn in France and Spain. Greece also worked to contain blazes on Lesbos and in the Peloponnese, where another firefighter died, in the midst of a brutal wildfire season for Europe.
In the Hugging Face breach, OpenAI's hacker was noisy and fast but not unstoppable. Cybersecurity experts told TechCrunch that one of the biggest lessons to be taken from the OpenAI hack against Hugging Face has nothing to do with AI, but traditional cybersecurity defense.
The economy slowed a bit, but Americans continued to spend. The U.S. economy grew at an annual rate of 1.5% in the spring, according to the Commerce Department. That's a modest slowdown from the previous quarter, but consumer spending picked up steam.
Russia strikes Ukraine with missiles and drones, killing at least 8. President Volodymyr Zelensky of Ukraine said 5 members of a family had been killed in the latest large-scale aerial assault by Moscow.
Newcastle captain Guimaraes expected to join Arsenal. There is a growing expectation that Newcastle captain Bruno Guimaraes will join Arsenal this summer in a deal worth up to £80 million.
Zoix can now charge for rides in its steering wheel-free robo-taxis. Zoix just got permission to charge for robo-taxi rides in its boxy, steering wheel-less vehicles. On Thursday, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration announced it has granted the Amazon-owned Zoix a temporary exemption, allowing it to deploy up to 2,500 vehicles annually over the next 2 years, as reported earlier by Reuters. The NHTSA's decision exempts.
Garrett envisions great things if Donald returns. Rams defensive tackle Myles Garrett expressed excitement over the possibility of Aaron Donald coming out of retirement to play this season, saying he thinks the duo can do great things.
Chart increasing World Cup 30 way too early power rankings. The 2026 World Cup is over, and we're already itching to look ahead to 2030. So, we asked our reporters to vote for the top teams they expect to contend in 4 years' time. Who made the cut?
Sources: NBA nixes plans for Middle East games. The NBA will not play any preseason games in the Middle East for the first time in 5 years, sources told ESPN, due to the ongoing war in the region.
Doolittle Hill not rejoining Saints for 10th season. Taysom Hill, the only player in the Super Bowl era to have more than 1,000 yards rushing, receiving and passing, won't be returning to the Saints for a 10th season.
Ex-Chargers L.B. Smith dies as family cites CTE. Former Chargers linebacker and College Football Hall of Famer Billy Ray Smith Jr. has died at 64, with his family saying he had CTE-caused dementia.
Storm apologize after Cunningham fans confronted. The Storm apologized Wednesday for an exchange that took place between one of their co-owners and 2 fans who thanked Sophie Cunningham in the wake of her comments supporting barring transgender girls and women from girls and women's sports.
Sources: Clips. Coffee inquiry could go into 2027. The NBA investigation into whether the Clippers circumvented the salary cap to pay Kawhi Leonard could drag into 2027 if the parties don't agree on the findings or any proposed settlement that involves punishing the team, sources told ESPN.
Sun brace fuels MLS All-Stars win over Liga MX. Son Heung-min scored 2 goals in 3 minutes in the first half to propel the MLS All-Stars past the Liga MX All-Stars 4-3 in the Major League Soccer All-Star Game.
U.S. economic growth sees surprise slowdown in second quarter. The economy grew at an annual rate of 1.5% in the 3 months to June, down from 2.1% seen in the previous quarter.
Analysis: Fed Chairman Walsh's credibility in question after leaving interest rates unchanged. The Fed held interest rates steady, but long-term Treasury yields jumped. Investors are questioning whether he will act forcefully enough on inflation.
Microsoft's latest Surface laptop is hundreds off at Best Buy. If you're keen on getting a laptop that looks fantastic, feels great to use, and doesn't cost too much, well, pickings are slim right due to Armageddon. However, there's a good deal happening at Best Buy through Thursday, July 30th, on Microsoft's ARM-based 13.8-inch Surface laptop that has the 10-core Snapdragon X2 Plus chipset. Originally,
new details in the OpenAI Hugging Face hack show how far agents will go. It's now remarkably easy. OpenAI's rogue models used publicly exposed credentials across 4 accounts on 4 services to help facilitate the Hugging Face breach.
Mark Zuckerberg blasts centralization of AI power. In an interview with The Times, Meta's chief executive took aim at Anthropic and OpenAI, which have pushed to tightly control AI development, and said he supported more openness.
Minimum 10-match ban for discrimination, FA. Players found guilty of discrimination will face a ban of at least 10 matches under strengthened Football Association rules.
TechCrunch Disrupt 2026's biggest stage features leaders from Amazon, Replit, Tether, with much more to come. The Disrupt stage is where many of the biggest conversations in technology happen, with a legacy that stretches back for more than a decade.
U.S. government map of Africa mislabels every country at global conference. State Department takes full responsibility for erroneous, widely shared chart displayed at AIDS conference in Brazil. A U.S. government map of Africa mislabeled every country during a State Department presentation at a global conference in Brazil this week, causing a stir among attenders who took screenshots and posted them online. Reuters viewed a video of the presentation given at the AIDS 2026 conference in Rio de Janeiro, which shows the errant map displayed halfway during a presentation about the State Department's new health agreements. Continue reading.
Allen backs bills panned new unis. Stop hating. Josh Allen defended the bill's widely panned alternate uniforms, saying the franchise has to move forward and do something new.
Dashcam captures tornado toppling power lines onto car. Video obtained by the BBC provides a first-hand look at the powerful storm system that ripped through parts of eastern Wisconsin on July 27.
Raids across UK and crackdown on nuisance car finance texts. Laptops, phones and documents seized as Information Commissioner acts on messages about mis-selling scandal. Laptops, mobile phones and documents have been seized after officials carried out search warrants in a crackdown on claims companies plaguing people with spam text messages about the car finance mis-selling scandal. The UK's Information Commissioner's Office, ICO, executed warrants at homes and businesses linked to 5 companies in London, Liverpool, Bolton, Burnley, and Swansea on Wednesday. Continue reading.
Passan's ultimate MLB trade deadline preview, where all 30 teams stand, best fits and latest intel. From the contenders eyeing Tariq Skubal to the rebuilders, here's what every front office is thinking ahead of Monday's deadline.
Cuba to Trump, we're open for business. A top Cuban official says the island won't negotiate its politics, but it is willing to talk investment, including from President Trump.
Doge veterans are landing big jobs at prediction markets. Polymarket and Novig have both recently brought ex-Doge affiliates on board as scrutiny of the industry intensifies.
Alien Terrorist Removal Court to hold its first ever hearing after 30 years. Congress created the Alien Terrorist Removal Court in 1996 to make it easier for the Justice Department to use classified evidence to deport people from U.S. soil.
Spotify running mode helps match tunes to tempo. Spotify has introduced a new running mode feature that makes it easier to curate playlists around your workout goals, music tastes, and desired beats per minute, BPM. The aim is to help you spend less time hunting for the right music and more time moving, according to Spotify's announcement, providing customizable running presets and optional.
U.S. aircraft carrier makes a rare port call in Vietnam. The visit, the longest since the two countries restored relations, is a show of mutual cooperation and a signal from the U.S. to China. But it comes during tensions over tariffs.
As wildfires plague Europe, Scotland races to save a cherished national park. As Europe's climate warms, even moorlands and forests in the Cairngorms, in the Scottish Highlands, have fallen victim to rapidly spreading flames.
15 elephant deaths at Kenya Park may be due to cyanide poisoning. Analysis of samples collected from carcasses found traces of toxic chemical compound, says Kenya Wildlife Service. The recent deaths of 15 elephants near a park in southern Kenya in the past month were likely caused by the animals ingesting pesticides used on nearby tomato farms, the Kenya Wildlife Service, KWS, has said. Erastus Kanga, the agency's Director General, told Citizen TV that analysis of samples collected from the carcasses had found traces of cyanide, a chemical compound used in farming as a predator control poison and a pest fumigant, which has also been used by poachers. Continue reading.
53 days and counting, 93-year-old leader's record absence fuels health speculation. Cameroon's Paul Biya has not made a statement or been seen since leaving for brief private stay at Swiss hotel on the 7th of June. A record 53-day absence by the world's oldest head of state has renewed speculation in his native Cameroon about whether he is dead or alive, even though discussing his health is illegal in the country. On the 7th of June, 93-year-old Paul Biya left for Switzerland for what officials described as a brief private stay, alongside his wife, Chantal. Almost 2 months later, neither the President nor the First Lady have addressed the country or been seen publicly. Continue reading.
How going as spending rules bite, troubles for Newcastle's Saudi owners. Newcastle United wanted to become one of the world's top clubs under their Saudi owners, but Eddie Howe's decision to leave is a sign of the troubles they're facing.
Amazon's short story collections are one of the best reasons to own a Kindle. Over the last few years, I've gradually shifted away from ebooks. It's been part of a general return to physical media, an attempt to create a deeper sense of ownership over the art I love and collect. A Kindle is obviously more convenient than a paperback, it's tiny, holds a huge library, and you can.
German Chancellor chooses Pope's AI encyclical over Pacey Potboiler as holiday read. With his popularity at a record low, Friedrich Merz packs the papal guide Magi Fica Humanitas. Europe Live, latest updates. Summer is normally thought of as the time for Pacey Potboilers and brain-soothing page-turners, airport reads that wind up sandy and sunscreen-stained. Not so for Friedrich Merz's holiday reading list. Germany's embattled chancellor, who has faced one rough patch after another since taking office 14 months ago, seems to be seeking spiritual guidance this year while putting his feet up. Continue reading.
Best Vacuum Cleaners, 2026 Cordless Vacuums, Robot Vacuums, Dysons. Looking for all our top recommended vacuums? Here are our favorites in every category, from cordless models to robot vacs.
Flock surveillance cameras can pose a crash risk for drivers, U.S. experts say. Roadside safety advocates say some automated license plate readers may not meet highway safety standards. Flock safety cameras have been pilloried for facilitating the AI-powered surveillance of private citizens and for targeting immigrants for years. But now safety advocates are also claiming that their physical location can pose potential roadside hazards. At the bottom of a tree-lined hill on a narrow, two-lane rural road in Greene County, Ohio, stands a black metal rod with a camera and solar panel attached at the top. Continue reading.
A second lens makes DJI's Osmo Pocket 4P my new favorite video camera. DJI's Osmo Pocket 4P is a pretty simple proposition, an Osmo Pocket 4 with a second camera lens slapped inside. But is that extra lens worth the added size, weight, and cost relative to the regular Pocket 4? And how does it compare to the only rival on the market, Insta360's dual-lens Luna Ultra?
Former England football star Sean Wright-Phillips joins Strictly lineup. The sportsman, who is also the son of Arsenal legend Ian Wright, played for clubs including Manchester City.
Senator Paul threatens to hold Fauci in contempt. And, a new rule undercuts U.S. asylum. Senator Rand Paul is moving to hold Dr. Anthony Fauci in contempt of Congress after he invoked his Fifth Amendment rights. And, the Trump administration has announced a new rule for the asylum process.
7 best shower filters of 2026 are Wired tested and approved. I tested leading filtered showerads to see how well they remove total chlorine from your water.
Holidaymakers warned about explosive diarrhea as cyclospora parasite infection. The UK is seeing a sharp rise in cases, 67 since April, with many of them among travelers returning from Mexico.
When AI invaded heated rivalry fanfiction, the meltdown was epic. An anonymous X account posted a detailed breakdown of chatbot text and 38 popular stories inspired by the hockey romance. The fandom spiraled.
4 best budget smartwatch models for less than $250, 2026. From fitness tracking to notifications, the best budget smartwatch can do a lot without costing a fortune.
Spider-Man, Brand New Day, is a superhero movie for yearners. Peter Parker's isolation lands especially hard in the age of AI, a loneliness crisis, and endless scrolling.
A Bay Area pastor made an AI twin to talk about God at any time. To meet the growing needs of his church, Justin Lester created an AI duplicate of himself. Every day he sees more people using it.
Search halted for GB surfer who disappeared in sea. Tributes are paid to surfer Aaron Strong, after searches for the Brit who went missing off the coast of Portugal were called off.
U.S. launches heavy strikes on Iran after attempted attack on American troops. After a short period of relative calm when hostilities were paused, both sides have now restarted missile attacks.
Trump promised a golden age for agriculture. Farmers in Iowa say they're still waiting. President Donald Trump has promised a golden age for agriculture, but farmers in Iowa and elsewhere are struggling with tariffs and the Iran war.
Pope Leo says he hopes to visit US within next couple of years. When asked about a possible trip, Leo XIV said that he had been looking at the calendar for the next couple of years.
SwitchBot makes a better fan. I was already a big fan of SwitchBot's big circulator fan I recently reviewed, and now we're getting the SwitchBot Battery Circulator Fan 2 Pro. Priced at $119.99, it ditches the height adjustable stand, but increases battery life, throw distance, and wind speed while adding native Matter over Wi-Fi, allowing it to join your smart home without needing.
Fauci on solid legal ground in face of prosecution threat, lawyer says. The U.S. medical expert faces possible contempt of Congress proceedings for refusing to answer questions during a hearing on COVID.
Russian strikes across Ukraine kill at least 8 civilians and wound dozens. The Blitz expanded Russia's almost daily bombardment of Ukrainian cities as Moscow apparently looked to exploit Kiev's critical shortage of Western-supplied anti-ballistic missile defenses.
Olivia Dean nominated and Lily Allen missing from Mercury Prize list. This year's Best Album shortlist includes several returning nominees, but Lily Allen misses out.
Apple's Siri got an AI brain transplant. Try these 5 prompts to get acclimated. An upgrade transformed the beleaguered virtual assistant into a modern chatbot. It's imperfect but worth trying.
As China's AI gets stronger, it poses new risks to Beijing. China's AI rise is creating a new dilemma for Beijing. The open models that win influence abroad may pose risks to the country's security and geopolitical strategy.
Pediatricians and health officials are sidestepping Trump's CDC on vaccine advice. The Trump administration's upending of years of vaccine advice puts many pediatricians in a quandary. Some are steering patients away from the CDC to other authoritative websites, including their own.
The Lumbee tribe of NC wants better health care, but plans to fund it are in limbo. Robeson County, NC, where most of the Lumbee tribe's citizens live, ranks as one of the worst counties in the U.S. for health. The tribe can access the Indian Health Service now, but it's not likely to be sufficient to improve the health of the community.
The renter-owner wealth gap is wider than ever, as many are priced out of buying. Housing has long been the largest source of wealth for middle-income families. But many renters cannot afford to buy as housing prices soar, which could fuel a generational divide.
The Trump administration has undercut the U.S. asylum program. These 3 charts show how. A new rule for asylum applications adds to the bevy of changes under the Trump administration to the core program for those fleeing persecution in their home countries.
Here's how parasite went from a laughing matter to a serious biological threat. Odysseus did not face the parasite Cyclospora in his 10-year journey home. But the word parasite originated as a popular character trope in Greek literature.
For the first time, Zoox can charge people for rides in its steering wheel-free robotaxis. The temporary exemption from federal safety standards will let Amazon's Zoox launch a real, paid robotaxi service in Las Vegas.